Hello, and welcome to Songwriters Spotlight, the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative Series. I'm Dr. Dan, your host of the show, where we feature Western Mass songwriters who perform their original songs and talk about the art of songwriting. Stay tuned to explore more about music and the tunesmithing that creates it. Our guest on this episode is Bobby D. His contemplative yet driving guitar and lyrics reflect his experiences and perspectives on life. Here's Bobby D.
This first song is called Just in Case Jesus. It's kind of fashioned after a little plastic Jesus that's been following me around for the last 25 years. Well, I say my prayers when I'm going to bed. Sometimes I think about dying. Not black nor white, but sometimes red. Gotta keep me from weeping and crying. Well, I got me a riddle that drives me insane. It hails from the time of Lincoln, standing on a rooftop looking at the rain. So hard to keep from blanking. Just in case Jesus looks down on me. Just in case Jesus helps the blind to see. And just in case Jesus has something to say, he'll be waiting round the corner come Judgment Day. Oh, hovel to hovel, I've traveled a far, freight train bound from car to car. Oh, the moon shines bright in the middle of the night, so hard to tell black from white. He sits on a counter right next to the salt. He's looking back at me grinning. I get this feeling he's assessing my faults. Been doing a little too much drinking. Just in case Jesus looks down on me. Just in case Jesus helps the blind I see. And just in case Jesus has something to say, he'll be waiting round the corner come Judgment Day. Oh, my brother Tom is always right. He does his dealing in the middle of the night. I doubt very much he'll ever see the light. This world is all that matters. Just in case Jesus looks down on me. Just in case Jesus helps the blind see. And just in case Jesus has something to say, he'll be waiting round the corner come Judgment Day. You can count on it. He'll be waiting round the corner come Judgment Day. He will. You'll be waiting round the corner come Judgment Day. Just in case Jesus. This is called Bridges I've Burned. And it's a byproduct of a thought that popped into my head when I was driving south on 91 coming back from Coleraine. Times are tough, been living in the city. Ain't got a nickel of the money I've earned. I'm all messed up and it ain't looking pretty. No going back to the bridges I've burned. Well, more sad news, my knees are really shaking. Soup's in the kitchen and the bread's on the board. Gotta ease off on what I've been drinking, or the great grim reaper's gonna have the last word. Times are tough, living in the city. Ain't got a nickel of the money I've earned. I'm all messed up and it ain't looking pretty. No going back to the bridges I burned. More quiet times riding by the river, talking with friends about the ones you love. Keep it mighty simple, keep an arrow in the quiver. Have an open mind about heaven above. Oh, times are tough, been living in the city. Ain't got a nickel of the money I've earned. I'm all messed up and it ain't looking pretty. No going back to the bridges I burned. High time to put me out to pasture. Sit me right down, put my feet up on a stool. The only road back is to fill me up with laughter. Dress me all up like a crazy old fool. Times are tough, been living in the city. Ain't got a nickel of the money I've earned. I'm all messed up and it ain't looking pretty. No going back to the bridges I burned. Well, Poseidon once said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink when trouble's on the way. If there's a D by your name, you're going off to slaughter, 'cause the man in charge, he likes it that way. Well, times are tough, living in the city. Ain't got a nickel of the money I've earned. I'm all messed up and it ain't looking pretty. No going back to the bridges I burned. If I had my way, I'd be living by the ocean, looking right out at the deep blue sea. All my dreams are better kept in motion. I doubt very much they'll ever come to be. Well, times are tough, been living in the city. Ain't got a nickel of the money I've earned. I'm all messed up and it ain't looking pretty. No going back to the bridges I burned. I'm all messed up and it ain't looking pretty. No going back to the bridges I burned. This song is called Inside My Brain. And man, it's a crazy, crazy place to be. But it came about in the winter in February, actually, of 2023. I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning, and the snow was falling, and I looked out the window, and this kind of stuff basically came out of my head immediately. So we'll give it a shot. Never fully honest. Some things are buried deep. I tend to the day-to-day. I pray my soul to keep. In my frail existence, all broken down and lame. Well, I'm never really knowing, is it real or just some silly game? Through my frosted window, against the winter snow, I got this empty feeling, don't wanna let it show. Well, time waits for no one, no one has the time. Well, I'd like to be around someday to write those final lines. Well, I could have been a pilot, I could have been a priest, I could have been a Rolling Stone and rocked these city streets. I could have been a prophet, something to proclaim. Instead, I'm just hanging around, all wrapped up inside my brain. Oh, to have a daydream in the middle of the night. Oh, to see my darling in the misty morning light. We'll say a prayer for freedom in this battle to sustain. Well, I'm never really known, is this real or just some silly game? Well, seek to travel safely, take shelter from the storm. With open hearts I venture, and into this world I'm born. Well, trust is but a feeling, helps us on our way. Well, looks can be deceiving, so be careful what you say. Well, it could have been a pilot, could have been a priest, could have been a Rolling Stone and rocked these city streets. I could have been a prophet, something to proclaim. Instead, I'm just hanging round, all wrapped up inside my brain. Well, I could have been a doctor, I could have been a thief, I could have been a made man and worked these city streets. I could have climbed a mountain in the early morning rain. Instead, I'm just hanging round, all wrapped up inside my brain. Instead, I'm just hanging round, all wrapped up inside my brain. Inside my brain. Need a break from the bottle. Got a sad disposition. Need a ride on a train that'll get me out of town in the middle of the night. Running low on resistance, talking to my demons with no one else around. Oh, the lessons I need, too late for the learning, and the wisdom I have ain't enough for sure. And the wolves I feed at 3 in the morning are the wolves I have behind closed doors. Daydreams are sweet, so hard to listen, with a 10-pound brick tied around my neck. As the sun goes down, you're the only one I'm missing, building up the nerve to find my self-respect. Oh, the lessons I need, too late for the learning, and the wisdom I have ain't enough for sure. Oh, the wolves I feed at 3 in the morning are the wolves I have behind closed doors. Well, never do we know the troubles to beseech us on our own little journeys to live our day to day inside of our heads, so no one else can reach us. No taste for surrender, yet we give it all away. Oh, the lessons I need, too late for the learning, and the wisdom I have ain't enough for sure. And the wolves I feed at 3 in the morning are the wolves I have behind closed doors. Oh, the lessons I need, too late for the learning, and the wisdom I have ain't enough for sure. Oh, the wolves I feed at 3 in the morning are the wolves I have behind closed doors. They're the wolves I have behind closed doors. Need a break from the bottle. This song's called Buried in the Rust. And it's just a comment about sad times that we all have, whether somebody passes away or you lose a job or something crazy happens to you. It's called Buried in the Rust. wake up in the morning at the crack of dawn. I'll be looking at the sunrise. It's a big red bomb. Step from my bedroom, all my troubles in tow. I pray to have the good sense, simply let them go. Well, I had a cup of coffee, made my morning plans. I was sitting at the table, pen and paper in my hands. I had to write a sad note. She didn't wanna go. Nothing worse than bad news. I didn't wanna know. There's a little bit of sunshine, every drop of rain, a little bit of laughter in the middle of the pain, a whole lot of heartache when it all goes bust. Keep looking for the metal buried in the rust. Well, flowers in the backyard, grass is growing fine. I'm living out a long life, not wasting any time. I'll be sitting on the green deck. I have no seeds to sow. Makes a lot of good sense. Simply let it go. Well, I hope to learn some lessons from the people I meet. They're sleeping in the alleys, they're living on our streets. I gaze to the darkness, look for Saturn's rings, sing loud for all the good stuff and all the simple things. There's a little bit of sunshine, every drop of rain, a little bit of laughter in the middle of the pain. There's a whole lot of heartache when it all goes bust. Keep looking for the metal buried in the rust. If I live to be 100, a silly sack of bones, would it really make a difference if I was living all alone? If I ever get to heaven, when all is settled and done, I would hope to settle down, not be living on the run. There's a little bit of sunshine, every drop of rain, a little bit of laughter in the middle of the pain. There's a whole lot of heartache when it all goes bust. Keep looking for the metal that's buried in the rust. Buried in the rust. This next song is called Something's Gotta Change. And it's born out of the great pleasures of getting divorced, which happened a long time ago. It took a long time for this stuff to come out of me, but here it is. It's called Something's Gotta Change. Been the man in the middle my whole damn life. Got knocked around a little by the boss and the wife. Well, I built me a home on Ludlow Hill, but it wasn't what she wanted. Couldn't sit her still. Couldn't sit her still. I couldn't sit her still. Couldn't sit her still. Well, the days have passed, not the usual kind. Tearing up my insides, oh, messing with my mind. I packed my stuff in a burlap sack, walked out that door, and I won't be going back. Won't be going back. I won't be going back. Won't be going back. I'm out on the road again, looking for my new best friend, not talking to my next of kin. They're simply out of range. I want to love again, right down to the very end. Take time to make amends. Oh, something's gotta change. In the paper city I made a little stand. I don't remember much, it might have been the plan. Settled in place from the burden of the times, looking for love in all the wrong lines, all the wrong lines, all the wrong lines, all the wrong lines. Well, I met me a match on Match.com. I didn't like her much, she didn't turn me on. She got a lot of laughs from ringing my bell. Her sour disposition drove it all to hell. 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 I'm out on the road again, looking for my new best friend, not talking to my next of kin. They're simply out of range. I want to love again, right down to the very end. Take time to make amends. Oh, something's gotta change. Now I met me a gal, not the usual kind. She's got a deep, deep soul and a beautiful mind. Nothing to lose and a whole lot to gain. It's all up to me, 'cause something's gotta change. Something's gotta change. Something's gotta change. Something's gotta change. I'm out on the road again, looking for my new best friend, not talking to my next of kin. They're simply out of range. I want to love again, right down to the very end. Take time to make amends, 'cause something's gotta change. Take time to make amends, 'cause something's gotta change. Something's gotta change. This is called Withered on the Vine, and it was written about, I would say it's a couple years back now, and it's just kind of my sense, my comment about seeing people living on the street all the time. I really feel that I have a brotherhood with the people that live on the street. It's a sad thing. But anyway, this is called Withered on the Vine. Well, I saw you standing on the side of the street. You look just like my brother. He was younger than me. No need for complaining, no whimper, no whine. He was homeless and helpless, all withered on the vine. People tell me Jesus was kind to the poor. That's because he loved them, couldn't give them any more. He prayed amongst the people who were simply marking time. They were homeless and helpless, all withered on the vine. Stand up and be counted, let them have their say. Gather all around them, they will help us all to find our way. Hope should spring eternal, but there's nothing here to gain. I ain't looking for forgiveness, just don't need to feel the pain. Well, I'm heading for the exits. In the dark, I'm moving blind. I am homeless and helpless, all withered on the vine. Spread those seeds of kindness, not a crime to help the poor. They are a stark reminder that our lives are not secure. I'm praying for those better days. I'm poised to read the signs. We are homeless and helpless, all withered on the vine. Stand up and be counted, let them have their say. Gather all around them, they will help us all to find our way. Well, I saw you standing on the side of the street. You looked just like my brother. He was younger than me. No need for complaining, no whimper, no whine. He was homeless and helpless, all withered on the vine. He was homeless and helpless, all withered on the vine. Withered on the vine. This one is called "In My Wild Ass Dreams," and this one is about 3 weeks old, and it just came out of a conversation with a friend. So here it is, called "In My Wild Ass Dreams." Well, she once said I had a beautiful mind. Kinda got me thinking what I told her last time. Can I ask you a question? whatever did you mean? She said, you do all your best thinking in your wildest dreams. My wildest dreams, in my wildest dreams, I do all my best thinking in my wildest dreams. Well, love can't hide when the heart grows warm, in the middle of the desert, in the eye of a storm. I'll be sleeping in a hollow by the old mill stream. I do all my best thinking in my wildest dreams. I met her at a service for my little Uncle Joe. We had a conversation and I couldn't let it go. Well, I think I caught her winking, I think I made the team. I do all my best thinking in my wildest dreams. My wildest dreams, in my wildest dreams, I do all my best thinking in my wildest dreams. We tried to live together and make a little home. She couldn't do it with me, had to do it all alone. As I look upon the lessons in that final tragic scene, I did all my best thinking in my wildest dreams. Well, time has passed and distance has grown. Not sure that I'm liking that I'm living all alone. I keep it mighty simple, tried not to make a scene. I've done all my best thinking in my wildest dreams. My wildest dreams, in my wildest dreams, I do all my best thinking in my wildest dreams. In my wildest dreams, in my wildest dreams, I do all my best thinking in my wildest dream. Well, she once said I had a beautiful mind.
Great music, Bobby. Thank you so much. It's soulful and thoughtful.
Thank you.
And a lot on the human condition, which is always good.
Yeah.
And a big dollop of humor there. Just all throughout, like you say, a little bit of laughter in the middle of the pain.
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Doc. It's, we've been banging around for over 10 years, you and I, and it's nice to sit with you and do this.
Yeah, always a pleasure. So how long have you been writing songs?
Believe it or not, about 15 years. That's it. And the majority of it kind of occurred over the last 5-6 years of writing songs. I probably have 30 of them written. I hope they're getting better progressively. It was something, writing songs was something that about 5 years before I was going to retire, I said to myself, I need a segue. I need a way to keep myself busy. And at the time, I had really been working hard on the guitar. So basically about 15 years I've been writing songs. 15 years.
So this was your segue to retirement and
I think
life.
so. I think it was just a progression, I mean, you got to find something to do. I mean, I ride a bike as well, but you got to find something to do. You got to find something to aspire towards. And I always liked music, so I kind of found myself intrigued by it, and off I went to write songs.
Yeah. So who are your inspirations, or what are your inspirations?
That's a big question there, Doc. I think I'm inspired by the people that move me. I've seen a lot of live music in my years. Spent a lot of time at the Iron Horse and the Calvin and Academy, and I gravitate towards people that move me. Like, who would that be? Well, Chris Smithers. If you've ever been in a room with Chris Smithers, he will move you. Lori McKenna, Mark Borelli. And in our own circles, Tom Dews from Amherst. So people that move me, also Dave Mallet, I don't want to forget Dave Mallet. When I can sit there and a tear comes to my eye, I'm like, yeah, that's where I want to go. It doesn't mean I don't appreciate the Dylans and the Tom Pettys and the Tom Waits. I appreciate all of them. But they're not in a place where I can touch them and feel them. Mm-hmm. These people are in a place where I can kind of touch them and feel them. And so that's what inspires me. Live music and people that can draw from my emotions. That's what inspires me.
Okay, well, I was going to ask you what your favorite topics are, but I'm thinking life is a big one.
Well, yeah, I grind things, man. I'm a thinker, and I'm always grinding. I'm always thinking about stuff. But I can remember even as a kid that I was always trying to help out the person that was disadvantaged or somehow taken advantage of, for me, because I felt that way as a kid. So I was sensitive to that kind of thing. So if you've obviously listened to my songs, a lot of the words in them are about people that are homeless and helpless and withered on the vine. So I haven't written very many happy songs. So I think I'm kind of a sad song writer, and that's just the way it is. I'm not going to question it. I write from my emotions.
Yeah. So how do you go about writing songs?
How do I go about writing songs? These are tough questions. First of all, what I do is I say to myself, I give myself 4 months out of the year to write songs. And right now it's November and December and May and June. So I'm not always on the cue, and my brain isn't always working. I don't always feel like I got to write a song. But in those 2-month periods, I at least would like to write a couple of songs. But what I usually do is it's about beat for me. I've got to feel it, and I've said that all along. The beat, and how do I create beat? I create beat with a slap of my hand or bass notes. You're creating beat. And I think that's where it all begins for me. So I store these little things throughout the year. If I see some kind of a music on YouTube and it's got an interesting beat to it, I kind of pick up on that. And then once I have that, and another thing is I'm always ready for those passing thoughts that go by when you're driving on 91, or you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Those passing thoughts. I think it's very important to write them down. People let them go. So I start with the beat. I try to be careful about making sure that I'm documenting those passing thoughts. And lo and behold, you mix a little bit of that with a little bit of that, and you end up with a song. I don't really sit down and say I'm going to write about marbles or I'm going to write about sunshine. It's just like a line comes out, and then everything is framed around that line. That's what I do.
So this Wild Ass Dreams, that came during your writing period, or did you store it away?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a May-June kind of a thing. I didn't let it out right away, but it was a May, because I didn't finish it. You write a couple of verses and you go, I don't know, But then you write a couple of more. So no, that it was initiated in that May-June period of this year. Mm-hmm. And it was really, a friend of mine and I were talking about stuff, and that's where it came out of, She once said, "You had a beautiful mind." It's a good line. It's a good line. I like that. I wish I could say that about anybody.
Yeah, so your songs seem very well constructed and polished. Is that because you edit, or how much editing do you do?
Oh, I think I do a fair amount of editing. I'm my own worst critic. There's been plenty of times where I've written a whole song and I like the verse, but I'm like, I don't get all that, the rest of that stuff there, And I'll tell you what I do. If I have a paragraph that I don't like or a line that I don't like, it's gone. I get rid of it. I don't want to grind over it or perseverate over a line and try to keep a line. I just get rid of it. I don't want to look at it anymore. And sometimes it means that I got to leave a song alone for a couple of months. So I leave it alone. And then I need a break from the bottle. Sat around for a long, long time. And Cheryl always encouraged me to write the finishing verse of that song. And I did recently, and it felt kind of good because it fit right in with what I was trying to say.
Yeah, you seem your songs tend to have closure.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do it, you know. I'm not really trying to do it, Doc. It just happens. But you're right. It has to have closure. So sometimes, if there isn't a loop to it, I will go back and say, okay, how does it close itself out? So I do consciously look at that. I do look at closure in the song.
Yeah. So, do you ever write with another person, or is it all solo writing?
It's all solo writing. And have I tried to write with another person? Yeah, I have. But it seems like egos kind of get in the way, you know? I try not to have an ego, but some people have egos. And you know what? I don't want it. It's got to be organic. It's got to be like when I tried to write a song, I would say to the other person, I would say, hey, look, I don't own any of this. You know, if you want to knock it around a little bit, go ahead and knock it around a little bit. But I haven't found the right person. You know, the right person is the person, my partner. That's the right person. And she's a busy lady, but we're going to find the time in this life to write some beautiful music. So we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
I look forward to that.
Yeah,
She's
thank
a
you.
superb songwriter.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you have advice for people who are thinking about taking up songwriting or doing songwriting or looking for ideas?
Do I have advice? Well, it stems back from what I said previously. If you have some thoughts, passing thoughts, it's important to write them down. But this is what I want to say is, you know, I really didn't get into it until I was about 50 years old, all right? So what I would say to somebody out there, the game ain't over. If you think you're 45 and 50 and it's like, I never learned how to play guitar or I can't write or whatever, no, that's just an excuse. You know, you got to get out there and do it. It can be done through hard work and concentration. And it's so fulfilling to write a song, so fulfilling.
Yeah, I know a number of people who say they can't write a song.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Everybody can write a song. It's maybe people don't want to be embarrassed in public when they create something. I felt that way. You know, when I first started to do this, it's like, are people going to think what I'm saying is crazy? It may be crazy, but that's okay. You know, and people need to know that it's okay. And I would encourage them to take lessons. Along the way, for me, I would say about 25 years ago, I decided that I liked this kind of stuff, so I want to get more interested in it. I started taking lessons from Andrew Lawrence, Community Guitar Network in Northampton, and then he was out in Florence a long time. But what that gave me was the basics of music, and it helped me to understand the board, the fretboard. And that was important, because that was a piece that was missing. I still have a lot to learn, but you have to keep striving to bring in another piece, whether it's about rhythm or how to play your guitar or how to write things. You got to keep at it and keep bringing in all those tools to create what you do. So in essence, what I'm saying, it ain't over. It's only over when you decide it's over. You know, if you happen to be 50 years old and you feel like you may be a poet, or you may be able to write, or you might be able to paint, or you might be able to play some music, then get out there and do it. Don't be embarrassed about it. Just get out there and do it.
So, do you have other thoughts that you want to share with the audience about music or writing?
I think that what I really want to say is that this town, East Hampton, is just a wonderful community. And I think it's so important to support the businesses that are out there doing their very best to make our lives more pleasurable. But I would also like to say that we do our Wednesday night thing at Luthier's Co-op in East Hampton, an open mic that begins at 6:30 on a Wednesday night, owned by two great characters. And what I would say is it's important to get out there and visit, have a drink, you know, have a little something to eat, sit down, get the vibe, feel the vibe. Nobody's looking for your money. They're looking for your interest. They're looking. Don't we love it when the place is full and there's a full audience?
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I would like to say. There's a lot of life out there beyond the computer screen, and it's important to get out there and do it.
Okay. Well, some interesting thoughts, some things to inspire people. Appreciate that.
You got it.
And thank you for the music, Bob.
You got it, brother. And I just want to say that I thank you for doing all you do. You know, you're a trooper. You know, you get out there. And also, I will mention here, I don't know if you had him in, but Scott Cadwallader, who also works with us, he's a trooper. And you gotta support these people, like myself, like Doc, like Scott Cadwallader. It's important because it means a lot to us and it keeps us all going and doing what we do.
Okay. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you. You got it.
Thanks for watching our show. I would like to acknowledge the support of the Western Mass Songwriters Collaborative, promoting the original music scene in Western Massachusetts. If you want to learn more about the WMSC, go to their Facebook page. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Dan. I hope you'll tune in again for the show that puts a spotlight on songwriters.